When driving at night, one of three conditions is almost always true. The first condition is there are vehicles ahead that would prevent you from using your high beams. Remember, you can use headlight spray from vehicles ahead to see further than your headlights will allow you to see. You can also use brake lights and tail light movements from vehicles ahead to warn you of danger that you cannot yet see. Condition number 2. There are oncoming vehicles that would prevent you from using your high beams. You can use headlight spray from oncoming vehicles that reaches into your lane to see further than your headlights can reach. Keep your eyes moving and focus on the headlight spray instead of the headlights to avoid eye fatigue. Check out state laws where you will be driving because most states do not require you to turn the high beams off until the oncoming vehicle is 500 feet away. At 55 miles per hour or 81 feet per second, if your following distance is 6 seconds, that's 486 feet. That means in most states you can run your high beams until oncoming traffic is almost as close as the car in front of you. Remember, minimum 5 seconds following time plus extra because it's dark, which is an adverse weather condition. When following another vehicle, most states will allow you to run high beams if the vehicle ahead is at least 300 feet in front of you. Many states only require 200 feet. So in most cases, you should be able to legally follow another vehicle with your high beams on. Because your minimum 5-second following distance at 55 miles per hour is 400 feet, and at 65 miles per hour, that's 570 feet, which is much more than 200 or 300 feet. Condition number 3, your vehicle is the only vehicle in sight. If your vehicle is the only one on the road, there's no reason not to use your high beams. Keep in mind, you want to take in as much light as possible. Your brain equates light to daytime. So the more light you can take in, the easier it will be to stay awake. Let's take a minute to discuss why most people do not use their high beams enough. They don't want to forget to turn the high beams off and blind the people in the oncoming traffic lane. They think they can see good enough without using the high beams, and they don't want to continually switch the high beams on and off every time another vehicle appears. Let's talk about why those reasons are not valid. When you develop the habit of using your high beams, it becomes a driving habit like using your turn signals. You turn your turn signals off, don't you? Moving your hand to turn the turn signal on and off will actually help keep you awake. Better visibility will help avoid eye strain, helping you to stay awake. Some more reasons to use your high beams whenever legally possible include: you cannot see as clear or as far without your high beams. You cannot see overhead objects like bridges, trees, and cable lines without high beams. And you cannot see people, animals, signs, parked vehicles, or road debris until it's too late to react to them without your high beams. Remember, the amount of space necessary to use your high beams is less than most drivers think, so please look up the law in the states where you will be traveling and give yourself the best visibility that you can get at night. Now let's talk about adverse weather. In adverse weather where you cannot use your high beams, think of all the reasons you need to use your high beams and ask yourself, should I be driving the speed I'm driving, or should I slow down due to poor visibility and road conditions? Should I be on the road at all? And finally, if a deer jumps into your lane, never swerve to miss a deer. Hit the deer. If it's too late to miss the deer, don't panic. Hitting a deer will cause much less damage than a rollover, run off road, or hitting another vehicle. It's a natural, sometimes unavoidable occurrence that your company will probably not hold against you. Hold your steering wheel steady, brake at a safe pace. The deer is probably going to die even if you swerve. There's no use for you to die too. Go ahead and hit the deer if it means that you can live. And if you see a deer on the road ahead, remember, deer are hard to see, unpredictable, and they rarely travel alone. Slow down as much as possible and turn your flashers on to warn drivers behind you that you're slowing down and there may be a problem ahead.